This is why LeBron's the best.
That's right.
LeBron is everything for people that he never had. Always. Never had a dad. So I'm going to be the most involved father imaginable, even if silly shows like this one are going to question, am I too involved at my son's games? I bounced around to different schools, all of which were underfunded, none of which did I know if I was going to be able to get there, if I was going to have the books. So how about I build a school? Along with taxpayers, but I help out a lot, and then send those kids to college, because if I wasn't going to get an athletic scholarship, I wasn't going to be able to go. And now in the NBA, I idolized Michael Jordan, loved him. Had a 15-minute conversation once when I was in high school. I said it was like talking to God. And from that moment forward, Jordan really wasn't messing with me. Kobe was my guy. Kobe, me and Mav went to go see him when we were at the McDonald's. I think it was All-American game. Kobe was playing in Philly. He gave me his shoes. Then I got to the league, and Kobe a killer now. And Kobe's, no, we don't need to be friends, anything until far later in your career. He didn't have someone doing for him what he's doing for these guys, which is he said to Ja Saturday night, anything you need on or off the court, let me know. And Zion, I think the Zion thing was really interesting. So there was an article in The Athletic from a few days ago saying, why doesn't LeBron have a relationship with Zion? Is there something there? Questioning, is there beef? Is there an issue? Maybe, if you remember, LeBron and Rich Paul showed up at one of Zion's games, ostensibly maybe to recruit him to Clutch, and he doesn't go to Clutch. Was there? And LeBron made it clear for everyone to know, listen, man, I might still, during these 48 minutes, try to beat you guys, but then I'm going to be there for you guys at every point, because he thinks it is his responsibility to the game. So no matter what you think of Michael and Kareem and Kobe and LeBron and wherever your rankings are, this is where LeBron is batting 1,000 for his career. The things that have to do with being an ambassador for the game, and as he puts it, Vinny, leaving the game better than he found it, he's as good as any athlete I've ever seen constantly, and last night was another example of it.
I think because LeBron has had I won't say so much given to him, but because basically from the junior year of LeBron's high school career, Nike, Adidas started putting their arms around him and sort of pushing him, saying, hey, you're going to be the next guy. He understands that a lot of these younger guys didn't have that same push in a traditional way in terms of marketing, in terms of protection, in terms of all these different pitfalls that you have to avoid while getting to the NBA. I can see LeBron being that ambassador, that statesman. Michael Jordan did have his moments where he was an ambassador and a statesman. And then Jeff Van Gundy called him a con man. And he said, you know what? I can't even do that anymore. And people said that Kobe Bryant would soften guys up when they would go at him. People never said that about LeBron James to that large degree. And LeBron is in a very delicate situation in his career where he's still at the peak of the mountaintop, basically, where he wants to assert his dominance and he wants to let everybody know that I'm still the king, but I'm also, once it's over, I'm still a support system. I'm still someone that you can look to, be it symbolically or even practically, as someone that you can go to. It's a very delicate line, because once you sort of break that facade, then guys can see you as a little more human, they're a little less fearful of you. And I think in the first game in L.A., LeBron did not really do much acknowledgement of Zion. He wanted to send a message. And in this game,
so you think that's part of the strategy? Beat you once, and then the next time I will come around and be...
I don't think there's anything that LeBron does that's by accident.
Okay.
I think he's that smart.
He's
but I'm not saying it's a negative thing.
Right.
But
so,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a negative thing, Nick, at all. It's not a criticism. But it's definitely, this is our first meeting. I have to establish it this way. And now that sort of, I've established it, the second game, I beat you again. When Zion had his moment, LeBron made sure to keep everything quiet with that long three to sort of, hey, look, this is still my game. Once that happened, the final buzzer is over, and he's established this very clear line, then I can embrace you.
Well, I love what you had to say. I love the picture you painted. I think that's great. Who would have an issue with that? Are there is it players, is it media, or is it fans that have an issue with LeBron crossing over?
So I think it's two groups of people. One is the back in my day former players on television that swear to God in the 80s before opening tip there was a legit boxing match and it was a man's man league and that we never were friendly. Even though Jordan and Barkley were famously best friends, Magic and Isaiah literally kissed before finals games, kissed each other before finals games. We act like, no, everyone back then hated each other because you had a team in Detroit that played dirty-ish, because
with
we have the famous...
Watch your tone.
We have the famous Dr. J, Larry Bird grabbing each other by the throat, and so we have those iconic moments. And the other one is media. The same media that everything LeBron does is wrong. If he plays all 82, he's selfish. If he takes a night off, he's lazy. If he did not embrace the young players, the narrative would be he's threatened by him. When he does embrace them, he's trying to soften them up. It is operating from the stance of whatever he does is wrong, and I will construct my argument accordingly. But what is so impressive to me is it's not that he doesn't hear it. People should know this about LeBron. LeBron hears all of it.
Well,
LeBron, he just acknowledged it. He doesn't let it change how he acts, but he hears all of it. He knows what people are going to say, and I don't even know if you can say he doesn't care as much as you can say he's not going to let it make him stray from what he thinks is the right way to handle it.
I do, Nick, I will say this. There is an element of in the 80s and the 90s, but I think it's pre-Dream Team and post-Dream Team. Guys didn't know each other because when you were growing up in your region, you played against guys in your region, and you didn't know the other stars. There weren't YouTube. There weren't these videos. You didn't know anybody until you...
It wasn't the AAU circuit.
It wasn't the AAU circuit, so even if you developed friendships, they were very on the surface friendships, where even Magic and Isaiah kissed, but they were in the finals, and they would have taken each other's, and they did take each other's heads off to get that championship. Now there's this perception that guys are taking it easy on each other throughout the course of competition, and that's where you have to draw the line.
We said kiss a lot on the show today. Let's talk some basketball now. Let's talk about the game then. Zion with a career-high 35, LeBron with a 34-point triple-double. Who had the more impressive game, guys?
I mean, to me, LeBron controlled every aspect of the game, and this was a game where every single time LeBron went to the bench, the Lakers did everything they could to squander the lead. At one point, I tweeted out in the first half, I think the Lakers were +7 in the 18 minutes in the 12 minutes he had played, and -17 in the 6 minutes he had rested. Like, they were just, no Anthony Davis out there. When he went to the bench, it looked a lot like the 2018 Cavs. Like, it's like, what the hell is going on? Zion's so amazing because he got 35, and I didn't think he played great. I thought that late in the game, he had the ball taken from him a couple times. He just got to his spots every single time. You can't stop him from getting to his spots. And so even the Lakers, with no Anthony Davis out there, they only have one center, and he was better than, I think, his first game against the Lakers, 9 of 19. This game, he sets his career high. So if we're grading on a curve, I'd give it to Zion. If we're just grading these two guys as equals, LeBron had the better game because he had 13 assists compared to Zion's 0. They were about equivalent in points, and LeBron's team got the win. So to me, he was a tick better, but Zion's unbelievable night in, night out.
Well, LeBron has more in his toolbox. You know, LeBron is a small forward playing point guard, so he can control more aspects of the game for longer stretches of time, and his team is highly dependent on him, especially with Anthony Davis out. But the thing that impressed me is that for the force that Zion plays with, there's a savvy in knowing where to get to his spots and knowing that I can score 30 without basically taking the game away from Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. If Ingram had a game,
Ingram had a game,
stretch, they win.
And that was it. He was terrible aside from that.
And you're playing on a younger team, and you're playing on a team that's not used to you yet. So from the standpoint of efficiency in that tight window that Zion has to operate in, he dominates that tight window. LeBron just has a wider window, a wider plate because of so much being dependent on him in L.A.
Good. Even with the Pels, even with Zion getting 35, horrific 48 hours for the Pelicans. The Lakers lose to the Grizzlies, then beat the Pelicans. What could have been a one-game deficit in the standings between 8 and 9
we need this
8-1. 3 games.
We need
deficit.
this 8-1.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.